Where did that leave us then? Hiring Vance Joseph, right?
No, I don't
What
want
do
to
you
hire Vance
think?
Joseph.
I
In the
came here
playoffs with the
Damien,
Suns
bro.
this year, and I told
What?
him that the Suns would win more
No.
games. What?
Oh no. I think Campanile would be a great. We had to go with a first-time head coach, and we couldn't get a Lafleur or a Kubiak. I think Campanile is your guy.
Are you serious, man?
Hey, we told our viewers it was just one of those days before the freaking episode even started.
What is up, everybody? It is the fAnaticZ podcast, episode 63. I am Damien.
What I do, Scataboo? It's Dylan.
It is Frankie, and boy, that is a great blooper to start out the show.
Right. It's awesome. You know what else is filled and riddled with bloopers? This Cardinals coaching search. It's just been a
Bro,
disaster from day one. And I didn't expect it to go any other way. I knew we would either get Saleh or someone like that, or it would be a complete and utter shit show like it is right now.
I mean, it's the Michael Bidwell train, so it's bound to run into a brick wall at some point. But there is one intriguing name who's been trending upward in our search that
No,
I'm
no, no.
actually
We gotta start off about talking about how bad this search has been. They fumbled so many different prospective coaches. They didn't even call Mike McDaniel.
bro,
There's
they
no
haven't
reason
even
why
gotten
we
McDermott.
yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't be calling McDermott, McDaniel, you know, everyone. It just doesn't make any sense. I know Dylan had some feelings about that.
I know Robert Saleh clearly uses his leverage though.
Yeah,
Because
he
I know we gave him
definitely
2 interviews, and then literally like later on that day, after it was reported that we got that second interview, Tennessee hired him. So
and
Yeah.
Jeff Halfley did the same exact thing to us.
I don't know, but we weren't. I feel like we weren't as aggressively pursuing Halfley like we were Saleh though.
I think we had another interview set up with him. We had a second interview set up with him, but instead he used that leverage to get hired somewhere else.
Right.
I
They
mean,
both
hey,
did it. Nobody cares about Halfley as much. That's why they don't mention it. But we're being used as a pawn out here. And the Athletic did a poll of 10 coaches and 10 high executives in the league and was ranking the jobs. 6 out of the 10 ranked us the worst job, number 10. The other two ranked us 9, and then the most optimistic one ranked us 8.
and the
Throwing in
sad
the
thing
fall.
is, that's not even from like a talent standpoint. That's just coming from an ownership standpoint because there's talent in the building. It's just nobody realistically, can win with Michael Bidwell in charge.
What were you
And
gonna
a
say, Dylan?
follow up with that, if you go to the Scores Facebook page and all that, I don't know how true this is, but like apparently every coach that's interviewed with us so far, I guess 100% want nothing to do with Kyler Murray. And I even posted that in our Arizona Sports Fanatic group too. So
I remember seeing that too. That's pretty rough.
I just seen an Instagram post with one of those Instagram polls with just no selected. Um, but at the end of the day, if you're interviewing for the Cardinals job, at this point, it's either your first time or it's your redemption project. So you don't want to go into it without knowing about your quarterback, you know, or knowing that
well,
you don't like the quarterback.
ever since Moore decided to go back to Oregon, I mean, really, it's just Mendoza and possibly Ty Simpson from Alabama, but then that dude just faded off top 10 super quickly. So
Honestly, I
yeah,
think
so
even Mendoza is a reach. This is a bad quarterback draft, and
it
Yeah.
is.
we should just trade the pick at this point.
We need to build our offensive line.
Exactly. That's what I would suggest. Trade the pick, get good offensive linemen. Maybe take a flyer on like a Carson Beck or someone like that. Maybe, you know, if he's there at when you're drafting, not with the first pick you have, you know. But if you can get him in the later rounds, why not? You know. But we're not quarterback searching for the next star in the draft. I hope not, or in free agency because it's not there.
I was gonna say My thing is, it doesn't matter like who comes in. Like you can still, if you do things right with your offensive line, you don't need to completely, get rid of your quarterback. Kyler Murray can make things work for you. You just have
Which
to get some protection.
we can get offensive line if we trade that number 3 pick back for, say, I don't know what this Saint. I think the Saints are selling at QB maybe. So like, what team above the top 10 could probably really use a quarterback? Can't really think of anybody, but maybe the Saints.
Let me drop the list real quick.
Because Spencer Rattler and who was the other guy? Show or whatever.
Show is kind of showing out lately.
A little bit, yeah, but it's still the QB room in New Orleans is not as promising, really.
I think they like Show.
But like, what team would be wanting to give us a king's ransom to still stay in the top 10 and give us a couple more picks, like second, third, fourth, whatever?
I
Get
don't
that
think this
king's
is a
ransom.
quarterback draft that would make any team want to do that. To be honest,
Yeah,
Yeah.
too risky.
There's not the players
I
for,
bet, yeah,
people
because
to. Yeah, it's not good.
The
The
only
draft order right now was
unless if
Raiders.
somebody's high up on who the fuck was it? Arvell Reese, or who was the other linebacker that's um high up there with him?
I don't
I
know,
don't remember
but
the name, but
I'm giving you the top 10 draft order right now. It's going to be the Raiders, New York Jets, and the New York Jets West, aka the Cardinals. The Titans, then the Giants. John Harbaugh has a number 5 overall pick on top of Scadaboo and Jackson Dart. That's insane. Then they got the Browns at 6, so they can draft another defensive monster. 7, you got the Commanders. 8, you got the Aints. 9, you got Kansas City Chiefs. They shouldn't even be allowed to have top 10 picks because they have Mahomes. And then you got number 10, which is Joe Burrow. Damn. So none of these teams really need a quarterback. They all have quarterbacks, literally. Titans have Cam Ward. And this is everybody who's
so
underneath
the
us in
Saints
draft
really.
class. New York has Jackson Dart. Obviously, the Cleveland Browns have Shador Sanders. Jalen Daniels for the Commanders. They could, I think they like Show and New Orleans. Kansas City, obviously, and Bengals. They don't need quarterbacks.
not one bit.
So maybe the
What they do
Dolphins
need
at
is an
11.
offensive line, though, for sure.
Maybe the Dolphins at 11 will be desperate.
Yeah, but from 3 to 11, you're gonna have to give us quite the haul to make that far relief back.
I think this is one of those drafts where we could get that type of draft compensation if somebody is really in love with the player that nobody expects. But other than that, we should probably just draft the best offensive lineman or try to get multiple first round picks to, draft offensive linemen.
Yeah. I mean, our offensive linemen is, as usual, our biggest Achilles heel and why we've been able to not move the ball. Our running backs were ineffective most of the time. And then, of course, you saw the ineffectiveness of dropping back when we had Jacoby in there. He was just not able to get out of the way.
Okay. I want to frame this so people understand why the job isn't good. Because we got the number 3 overall pick in a draft where really there's not many players even outside of quarterback that scream, draft me at number 3. And who are they talking about outside of quarterbacks? Really no one. There's no crazy wide receivers or no crazy running backs. That's a part of the job
Hold
being
on.
unattractive.
Well, hold on
Another
about
point
that.
of the job being unattractive would be the Cardinals owe Kyler Murray $38.6 million next season, guaranteed. You know, and they also have to pay Cliff Kingsbury multiple millions for the next 2 seasons. And so it's like you have good cap space, but you don't have a quarterback. The team is hamstrung and has a history of firing coaches before they can really do anything. And on top of that, you're playing in the NFC West. Jesus Christ. It's just like, why would I take this job if I need to either A, make a good impression for my first job, or B, make sure that my second job goes well, because you only get 2 jobs historically as a head coach before you're just a coordinator for the rest of your career.
mean, that number 3 pick though, look at the mock draft real quick if you can.
What's
It's
that mock
bugging me
draft?
because like this guy
Which mock
because
draft?
any one of them, I guess. It was a linebacker. I think his name was like Ruben something.
Okay, hold on. What about this Ruben
But
guy?
anyway, I think I heard or saw something about him being like 270 fucking pounds and fast for a linebacker. Like that dude's fucking huge.
We don't need no more defense. I mean, it
Well,
doesn't hurt, but
opposite Josh Sweat, okay, whatever. But then outside of that,
I'm all for the talent bringing in, but we have to have somebody with a mind to do
that's
something with it.
that's the best play. I mean, Josh Sweat can give you 10 sacks, but what about Ruben? I'm pretty sure his name is Ruben. Ruben
Lubin,
something.
Lubin.
But this is the
My
formula and
keyboard is failing me right now.
everything the way it's setting up is why Campanile is a perfect candidate. Honestly, he's have you guys seen his viral video of him, being intense in his meetings?
You know what? No, but we got the viral video. Jonathan Gannon with fire in his belly.
Who took the bus today?
Yeah, I don't want fired up videos of anybody. That's
But
a
no,
bad
this
omen
like
right from the start.
he and other people have been saying this too, but it kind of reminded me of Dan Campbell and what he did with Jacksonville's defense last year.
Yeah,
Good
the
stuff.
defense is really good. Dude, my fucking keyboard is toaster strudels. What is going on right now?
Technology
Today's been
is
a weird
whack.
day for technology in this house.
I mean, hey, you're fighting the uphill battle just like the Cardinals.
No, seriously, man. I just don't get what they're doing. But at the end of the day, they can only do what they can do because if people if they're on the phone with these guys and they're telling them no thanks, what can they really do?
And that's why Campanile is such a good name because he's a fresh face. He's only been in the league since 2020. Give him a shot, and he's probably the kind of guy just like Liam Cohen, crazy enough to take the job, and we might actually benefit just like the Jags did.
Yeah, but how many times during Pick'ems though have we were like, yeah, the Jags been looking sus as shit and not been looking as great though. They were the most sus playoff team before they entered the playoffs. How many times have we kind of pointed that out though? And that goes to the staff too.
I'm not
So
sold
that's
on
even
this Jags
higher
DC
too, with
guy.
like Trevor Lawrence and Trevor Etienne. But outside of that, it was just you know.
I'm not really sold on the the Jags DC guy. I wouldn't hate it. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be Matt Nagy or it wouldn't be Vance Joseph. It'd be somebody new that could give us some sort of hope. Um, are you talking about Arvell Reese?
No,
Really? No.
no.
I'm talking to Dylan.
He could follow us, but I doubt it. He's going number 2 for sure.
I mean, we need it
Ruben
doesn't.
Bain. That's who you're talking about. Ruben Bain Jr.
Yes, bro. I think he was like 270, close to 300 pounds, fast as shit for a linebacker. Like,
Miami.
yeah.
We'll see. But they don't have him at 3. They have him like they have a lot of people on this list. Arvell Reese is the number 1 person. He's been linked to Arizona he's been mocked to Arizona in 10 different mock drafts.
Damn.
Francis Mauigoa, offensive tackle from the same school as Bain Jr., Miami. He's been linked to us 5 times. Jeremiah Love,
I
Spencer
like that.
Fano, and Ruben Baines have been linked to us 3 times as well. And that's kind of the highlights of the people that have been mocking us.
See, my thing with Love is it wouldn't be such a bad thing if we had an offensive line that wouldn't get him killed, and then 2, like you still have potential James Conner coming back 100%. So just rebuild your line, and you don't even
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
but
should
we
just
can't.
focus on
James
the
Conner can't be
offensive
the
line.
cowbell anymore. Honestly, we need to see Martre Benson.
I was gonna say, and he's probably cool with that. But I mean, a 50-50 split's still not gonna do anything if you don't have blockers up front.
Yeah, even though with as bad as our O line was, our run game with James Conner was so smooth and fluent, though.
It's like he opened up the hole for everybody else.
So was
Right, like,
Clayton
and
Adams.
and it also helped that he's very super hard to tackle and bring down too. So, I
Just
mean,
the
with
end.
Trey Benson, you would get those like 2 yard, 2 3 yard runs. He's just immediately down. Like you don't get those explosive power runs out of Trey Benson, like you see out of James Conner. Demarcado, I mean, like very weirdly with Demarcado, like at least once a game you get those like 50+ yard explosive plays. But other than that, like limited usage. So I don't know. Outside of James Conner, it's up to Trey Benson to prove like, hey, like I'm the future running back, like I was supposed to be. So
Yeah, we'll see what Trey is. We'll definitely know here soon because I feel like he's gonna get the bulk of the work next year. So we'll see.
I mean, I
So
heard
good.
we
Good,
just need to
Mikey.
make a decision in our, for our coaching staff soon, or it's just going to continue to fester. And
Yeah, I think the more we wait, the worse the search will be at the end, and we will be less happy with what's going on. But Albert Beard just said that we swung and missed on various candidates, and we're competing with 5 other organizations now to fill the head coach. And he thinks that Vance Joseph or Joe Brady are the ones to watch.
it should not be Vance Joseph. He was 11-21 as head coach for Denver. He is nothing but a good defensive coordinator and nothing more, in my opinion.
I wouldn't mind giving
But
Brady a shot if it came down to it.
I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, Brady wouldn't be too bad, even though McDermott should get the first call over him as well. But
100%.
it wouldn't be fully awful if we like unless we didn't hire Kubiak or LaFleur, because one of those two coaches are going to go to the Super Bowl. So one of those coaches just coming off a Super Bowl win or whatever, like, and then coming into this organization could be very helpful and useful for the next 5-10 years for this team if done right.
LaFleur
Honestly,
is
at this point,
definitely.
I'd take Raheem Morris over most of these other dudes. He at least showed that he could win toward the end of the year last year.
Bro, with Bijan, I mean, then again, it's not his fault. He was never given a fucking solid quarterback, but
I mean, he's better than Vance Joseph. Either
he's
way,
still gonna
I
give
think
us
that
like 3-4 wins though. Like Raheem
yeah,
Morris.
no, that's true. But he had good wins at the end of the year last year, and I think that the Falcons finished the year very strong, and he's got head coaching experience, and he would take the job.
I'm telling you.
It's gonna be Joe Brady or the Jags DC. Watch.
And that's honestly like that's not a bad get because I mean in coaching circles he's well respected. Even Halfley that just got hired, as a head coach himself, had nothing but great things to say about him because they worked together in Green Bay. So, for the guy to be starting in the league from 2020 as a linebackers coach in Miami to now already being a head coaching candidate, and then the way he helped turn around Jacksonville defense, phenomenal. And that's maybe the kind of Dan Campbell kind of spark that the organization could use.
Yeah, I'm not getting the vibes. Yeah, I hope, man. I hope we can get something to turn it around. But the thing about it is, man, your reputation precedes you. We got to get lucky.
I mean,
Um, yeah, we got to get lucky, man. I really think that at this point, it's become like a job that like nobody really wants to take. One of those things where nobody's really saying it, but everybody amongst each other is like, "Don't take that job."
we're like that first college job. If only Matt Ishba could buy the Cardinals.
Right. Well,
That'd be great.
let's finish this Cardinal segment off by saying who do you want to have?
In the draft?
Let me list all the candidates first. So there's Anthony Campanelli,
Oh,
and these are people that may or may not be available: Clint Kubiak, Mike LaFleur, Jesse Mentor, Raheem Norris, Matt Nagy, Chris Shula, Arthur Smith, Anthony Weaver, and Thomas Brown.
so whoever between Seattle and LA makes it out of that Super Bowl appearance, that's what we need to go after the most aggressively. So
But at that point in time, then all the other people will be hired, right?
I mean, it's not always a bad thing that waiting it out, but
That's true. I guess waiting it out doesn't
you
spell
technically
immediate
can't.
doom.
You technically can't hire him until after the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Technically, can't talk to them until they're
Basically, without
Yeah.
tampering.
So nothing can really go down. Possibly more than likely until after the Super Bowl. Really. So
no, one of those teams have to lose. They play each other to get. They both ain't going to the Super Bowl.
okay, one of those teams loses, vice versa. Then one of those coaches from the losing teams could get hired the next day. Then, if we're interested, but if not, then could be off the list.
Yeah, but don't you think those two guys are going to want to match up with there's like 5 or 6 jobs left, and there's 2 jobs that are still better than this one.
They very well could pursue the other jobs. So
Who do you think?
Well, where does that leave us then? Hiring Vance Joseph, right?
no, dude, no. I don't want to hire Vance Joseph.
Frankie, go ahead, man. Let it go.
You've already heard my shit. I think Campanile would be a great, if we had to go with a first-time head coach and we couldn't get a LaFleur or a Kubiak, I think Campanile is your guy because.
So you're saying that he's your third choice?
Nope. Okay. Sorry, finish, Frankie.
So you're saying he's your third choice, Frankie?
Right now, it's looking like he's the team's first choice. And honestly, like if he turns out to be the next
though. I'm asking about you, Frankie.
Right now, I'll put him number 1.
Okay.
I'd say my third choice, technically. My third choice would be Joe Brady, even though they should give McDermott that call first. But
for sure. I think that I'm in the same boat as you guys. We can get Clint or Mike. That's who I would like. That would make me more comfortable. And I think I agree with either. I don't think Raheem Morris is out just because the fans reacted very bad to that. And Anthony Campanelli, or Anthony Weaver, I wouldn't be too crazily angry. I wouldn't like it, but I guess I wouldn't be like sad. You know what I mean? I'm totally out on most of these guys, most to all of them, and I'm only picking because we have to pick between them, But
hear me out. My biggest thing with Campanile is you had the non-transparency. Who came here on the bus? Weak silent shit that Gannon had, and then you flip the script, bring in a full energy guy that drops a lot of F-bombs, unfortunately. But if he gets the guys riled up and he doesn't, if he comes in guns blazing, yeah, that's your guy.
I get it, and I like that approach. But for me, like, I want someone that's gonna win. I don't care if you're loud or quiet or whatever, as long as you can make them win. I don't care what the optics are on the rah-rahness, because at the end of the day, that shit doesn't win you football games unless the people in the locker room are bought into it, And
Right.
so I hope that, I mean, if he's like that, then hopefully he can appeal to the people and the players, because if he can't, then they're just gonna see it as annoying and corny, So it's like it can go either way. Like, he's got to be personable too, and being a head coach is a different job than being a DC, where you only have to worry about one group of men,
Right.
So I don't know, man. I don't like time head coaches, but we're the Cardinals. We're beggars. We cannot be choosers. So
yeah, we're the hotbed of first-time head coaches.
Yeah, it breaks my heart. But with that being said, I want to talk about greener pastures. I want to talk about things that make me happy. I want to talk about the Phoenix Suns.
The 6 seed Suns, huh?
Yeah, man, and they're only the sixth seed because the Lakers did a miraculous comeback. I think we're like point game behind, 0.5 game behind the Lakers. We actually think we have a better record than them, but they've played more games or something, so the percentage ekes out to them being on top of us for some reason. But that won't be long. They're crumbling. I feel like most of the teams in the Western Conference are on a little slide while the Suns are surging.
Not
I
well,
think
not only that we're surging, but we finally saw the green light.
Let's
Jalen
go.
Green's finally back for the Suns, and first game he came off of a bench role and perfectly okay with it. So
yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
he, sorry, last thing, and he
yeah,
was asked during during an interview after the game, Jalen, like, when did you ever come off the bench during your entire career? And he goes, never. So he was all part of the process. So
well, that
Yeah,
and like just with his injury and how things went, I feel like taking that kind of Mark Williams approach will benefit him well. And like he did double digits in only 20 minutes of work.
yep, and he also said that he's looking forward to like not having a minutes restriction. He said that multiple times. So he's cool with coming off the bench, but only for now. That man
Right.
wants to get in the game and wants to play. And honestly, there's no reason why he shouldn't. The coach has proven that he can carve out minutes for everybody and it'd be successful. In the last game we played against the Philadelphia 76ers in Philadelphia, and everybody, not everybody, but there was six players in that game that hit 2+ threes, and it was crazy to see. Like it was a good win. Jalen Green off the bench, Grayson Allen went bananas. Colin Gillespie had a couple threes. Devin Booker had a couple threes. It's like when you have that many people that can hit multiple threes in one game, and then some that can hit three or four. It's going to be extremely hard for them to defend us. I love the way this
Right.
team is shaping up.
Well, and
I
then the
just love
funny,
watching. Sorry, I just love watching Jalen Green fucking attacking the rim, dude.
oh yeah.
It's just so fascinating to watch. We didn't see that with freaking Katie really or Bradley Beal because well Bradley Beal never really played really. So to see someone like that besides Williams attacking the rim like that, like it's just a beautiful thing to
It's
watch. So
refreshing.
it
I
is.
wish more players on more teams would do it. I hate watching basketball and every possession ends in a 3-pointer. It really makes me angry. It's like, what am I watching?
I was gonna say nobody has any true offensive motion or sets anymore. It's just like, oh, walk it down, look for an open three, pop it, walk back, play defense.
And then freaking Royce O'Neal and Carl Gillespie are still playing pretty solid as well, dude. The
Well, see,
fact
that's
that both of them can in fact be six man of the year finalists too.
and that's the
Oh,
Which is
thing. You
crazy.
got
definitely.
7 guys on this roster that are averaging 10 points or more.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And
And
like
we're
you
getting
said,
steals. The Suns are one of the few teams in the league with a positive plus and against for like points scored for and points scored against. We actually score more points than we allow other people to score on average. So and it's crazy because the team is not a team that anybody expected to win. We were projected to win 27 and a half games. And they're 30 games. Sorry, they're projected to win 30.5 games max on a lot of these.
what he was saying, most people thought we weren't gonna even hit that 30-win plateau. We're 3 games away, just barely halfway through. Playing team basketball, beautiful basketball. Everybody against us can kick rocks. And I just want to allude to what our show thought before the season. We all thought the Suns could win around, 38 ish, 40 ish wins. So we thought we were going to be better. So we saw the rise coming first.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like I remember before the season even started, I my exact phrases were like, "Oh, just a bunch of question marks." From management to coaching to even what a roster was right now, and right, and I thought we were gonna be at 25 wins as well, but like right now, like I'm at the point like I'm like excited and all that, but like I'm like I don't know, this team kind of has the finals vibes a little bit, just a little bit, don't you think?
I was gonna say you kind of have that chemistry because I mean, even when we brought Chris Paul in 2000, 2021, the team wasn't expected to do anything, and we saw where that went. This team, outside of Jalen Green, the only guy with a pulse, basically offensively was Devin Booker. But we saw the offensive, ascension of Dylan Brooks this year so far. Colin Gillespie's averaging double figures. Royce O'Neal, getting Green back in, to the rotation, getting him 100%. That's only going to make this team better. And we're only 13 games away from 40 already.
So right there, that right there, you think about 4 players right there that's been contributing pretty good for the Suns. If you go back to the finals, Chris Paul contributed pretty well for the Suns. Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. So I would say those 4 on the 21 final Suns team contributed pretty well. You know who was kind of arguably in that conversation? DeAndre Ayton. But you know who's not arguably in that conversation that's been balling out in it day in and day out? Williams, dude. If Williams can keep balling out the way he is the rest of the season into the playoffs, and after we make the playoffs, and with the 4 guys that you named that we got right now, and with the squad that we got, and if Jordan keeps doing his thing, like I feel like we could make another deep playoff push if we keep playing the way we are.
You think so?
I think we can make the playoffs. I think we can make a decent playoff run.
Yeah.
The Suns team, absolutely amazing. Love the energy. We got that, not exactly the same experience from that finals, roster that we've had. But, I mean, even guys like, you got another guy from that 21 roster that had a big effect that came in that wasn't exactly, offensive. He's the Dylan Brooks of 2021, Jay Crowder.
Little bit, yeah. And then I don't know until that beef with Monty happened, and then you saw way less of him, and I feel like that affected his playing ability too. So, this I told we hey we told our viewers it was just one of those days before the freaking episode even started.
But did you see the article that basically he mentioned why last year didn't work?
With the Suns?
Yeah.
No, what did he say?
He basically he basically said it was point and cut that basically everybody on the roster just tolerated one another and were friendly at work. Had kind of like a business relationship kind of thing, but they were never like kind of like that tight, I vibe with you kind of family that the team has this year.
Yeah, I think that was pretty clear. You didn't really need the inside beat on the team to tell that after a certain point in the season, even Kevin Durant and Book didn't even get along no more.
And the funny thing is they all collectively wanted to get that thing rolling, and then by the end of it, they just couldn't stand one another, basically.
Think about
So, hold on. So, Book and KD, I'm just gonna be as a fan that internal speculator. I feel like all in all, I feel like this all lands on KD when when he misunderstands the fact that he personally feels like he was a scapegoat. When in reality, a lot of Phoenix Suns fans' frustrations was on Bradley Beal's availability and the lack of seeing the big 3 ever forming together for at least 3/4 of a season. We never even saw half of the season. And him in his head feels like, oh, like they all hate me and put the blame on me for the failures that happened in Phoenix. No, man, it's not that. But I don't know. So I feel like Book and Katie's relationship would have been fine, but like I feel like we've mentioned this tens of episodes ago. Katie's just a very sensitive person, I guess. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
no, I agree with you. I don't I do agree he got scapegoated a tiny bit. I don't think he got scapegoated entirely by himself though. The whole team was just not good. It just wasn't a good fit, and he took it way too personally. It wasn't as deep as he was making it seem like. But the fans were getting on him though, and that's one thing about the fans that they don't realize is they do play a big effect in players feeling, betrayed by the city. When players feel betrayed by the city, it's because they're getting mad 100 DMs from the dummies that are mad, and it's like that does factor into how players feel about it and what they tell other people about coming here. So hopefully they see now that it was more of a personality fit thing than it was being scapegoated, because we have half the talent, maybe even less than half the talent we had on that team, and the team is doing twice as good.
Well,
Or
it's like it doesn't matter. It's like the old saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Like when you have guys that aren't necessarily the greatest players, but they have chemistry, they all come together, they feed off of one, star, which is Book, and then you have the extension, with Green and then Brooks. You know, chemistry is a lot more in basketball than people say. You can have as we're seeing this year, 27 and 17. You know, chemistry goes a lot further than you think.
and so does having a plan. The plan when KD was on the team was give the ball to Kevin Durant or Devin Booker and let them play ISO ball and get a mid-range jump shot. Now we're spreading the floor. We're getting everybody open look for three, and we're crashing the paint, and it's getting steals, and everyone's playing defense. No one's just offensive. Everybody's two-way players, and everybody can shoot. That's a big difference on this team too. I feel
Right.
like Devin Booker himself wasn't shooting as well with Kevin Durant when Kevin Durant was a part of the team. And let's face it, Devin Booker missed a lot of time, Kevin Durant missed a lot of time, and Bradley Beal missed a lot of time. I think there was a point where we were like a season and a half into that relationship, and the big three had played 13 games together.
Yep.
Wild
It
like
was
that.
abysmal, dude.
Yeah, so it's like that team did never had a chance to even be a team. They were
Well,
just go ahead.
it says a lot about it says a lot about your team when it makes more sense to pay a guy 20 million not to be on the team than having him around.
I just think that the situation that we were in with those three guys was not their fault. It was Matt Ishbia and the team's fault for thinking that they could put those guys together, two, three guys at the same position that do the same exact shit with no real game plan for how we're gonna make it work. The coach didn't say, okay, this is exactly how we're gonna deploy these guys and so we can win. It was just like, okay, guys, you're good, you're talented, go get a bucket, see if you can win the game. It's like that's never gonna work when you got OKC and all these other teams that have talent and good coaching. So it's like
Right.
you can't have just one of those two things in the equation. And I feel like with Jordan Ott, he's showing how important coaching really is for the NBA.
Well, and what's great about it is he can grow with the players.
Oh, by the way, guys, the audio only messed up because I got a phone call. But this sounds way better anyways. I'm gonna start doing it back on my computer.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
Yeah. But Jordan also got a phone call, and they're probably wanting all kinds of players and stuff from the Phoenix Suns, but we didn't do anything at the trade deadline. Or I guess the trade deadline is actually February 5th, so I shouldn't say we haven't done anything. But it doesn't look like we're gonna do anything. How do you guys feel about that?
Jalen Green is our trade deadline acquisition, if you think about it. So
I love that. When
That
they
is,
said that, I was like, that's a great mindset to have. When HBS said that, I was like, okay, ish.
yeah,
I'm
no,
rooting for
that's 100%. Like I would be surprised if you saw anything other than maybe Nick Richards moved for a veteran. But this team needs to stay where it's at. They need to focus on moving forward with who they have. Because the last time we gutted a team that was driving towards a championship, we blew it up. So let's not do that again.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he already Matt Ishbia. I don't know, I forgot who he was speaking with, but he already said we're not blowing this thing up. We're not trading Dylan Brooks. We're going to try to keep Colin Gillespie. Like he's somebody that likes to win and someone that wants to do it right. And I feel like him messing it up so badly the first time has inspired him to like go hard in the opposite direction, which is beautiful. What you want to see from an owner. And Michael Bidwell, take notes, buddy.
No kidding. If you want
right.
to know,
Even Kendrick opened the checkbooks a little bit, and that led to a World Series.
Right.
So Bidwell, just a little bit, just a few more millions in the checkbook. Just open a little bit. Just might see a little more results, buddy. So
And people might not be pissing on your lawn to get the fuck out of town.
right. Because we were at, I'm not trying to get too off topic, but we were at one point like that with Ken Kendrick with the D-backs. And then we forgave him after that World Series run, and haven't been too miserable since. So,
And then he's been
anyways, back
trying
to the Suns.
people.
So, take notes, Bidwell.
It all
Right.
starts with the head coach.
Yeah. So take notes, Bidwell. You very intelligent man. Just I hope you figure it out because you got good players. But
I wonder if he has a daughter. Trying to take notes from the Colts organization. I'm just saying, bro. Look at the Colts, man. So, hey, Carly ain't fucking around. She be taking the notes on the sideline, this and
right.
that, spend that
Hey,
dough.
Carly, give me your phone number, girl.
Yo, listen, Carly, can Bidwell get some of that dough?
Right, please. Bidwell, sell the team to Walmart. Walmart buying NFL franchises.
Bro, come on. If you want, we need Sam's Club. We got to be bulk.
That's so funny.
But listen, if Daniel Jones never got hurt, they could possibly be in the AFC Championship game this weekend. So
no doubt. I have no doubt that they would have
Seriously.
put much farther with DJ still playing. I was watching replays. Larry Fitzgerald posted the memory of him and Carson Palmer in the Green Bay game where we beat them in overtime after Aaron Rodgers did the Hail Mary. Oh man.
are you talking about the one where like Carson Palmer fucking found him just on the sideline? He got down in the inside the 5, then the next play they
all the way
it.
across, got down
Yeah.
and got the shovel pass for the touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Good times.
Bro. Take me back.
That's when we had a coach that lit up 500 players' asses, bro.
I'm telling you, Campanile.
That would have been Robert Saleh, but that could be Doug McDermott. But I don't know about LaFleur or Kubiak, really. So
I said Doug McDermott last time too, and that man is a basketball player.
And listen, if anybody is truly solely listening up to this point in this podcast that goes, "Oh, Mike Tomlin," no, Mike Tomlin, I feel like he could. Actually, he's more than likely going to take the year off. But there's a 50-50 chance that he could be done forever. He's done retiring because he's already coached for 18 years for the same organization, dude. Like,
I'm leaning towards him being done forever.
That's unheard of.
Like literally, there's no reason for him to continue coaching.
He benefits the Steelers by going somewhere anyway, too.
By the way.
We don't need to continue to be the Steelers West.
He got his free pass because he played the Cardinals in the Super Bowl.
Hey, I just had an epiphany. So, you know how my prediction that Kyler Murray to the Steelers?
Oh, no.
Aaron Rodgers is pissed off right now about Mike Tomlin being fired.
Mike Tomlin didn't get fired.
Or step down, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's not happy that Mike Tomlin's not the coach there anymore.
Maybe they talked and Aaron was like, "I'm really done, man. I don't want to do this anymore."
But if he's done, Kyler Murray to the rescue.
What would they give us?
Mike Tomlin, baby.
Mike Tomlin straight across for Kyler Murray. That's so funny.
Bro.
Well, fuck it, dude. Straight up, fuck it.
Probably the only thing I'd be like, all right.
Listen, from paying Kyler Murray that fucking god-awful contract to paying Tomlin $15-20 million a year, I'd rather pay that man $15-20 million a year for eight than fucking 4 or 5 wins with Kyler Murray.
We're gonna roll with Jacoby again the entire year.
No, we can't roll with neither. At this point, one of us should try out.
Right, I'm down.
I'm game.
I'm going to school right now so I can be a coach in the next 4 years. I have a hot shot offense, air raid. Damien Kingsbury.
Damien.
Did he ever get a second interview with Baltimore, or was that a one and done?
One and done, sir.
Man, they did not like hearing screams from Lamar to Derrick Henry.
That's so funny.
Dude, if
I
he
think
was
they're gonna
Baltimore, they'd be looking at him like freaking LeBron was looking at J.R.
I think they're gonna hire a head coach and then hire an OC and they're just giving Kingsbury a try to see if they. I think Cliff could be a good head coach. We should have just kept him.
Oh gosh, what
He
if
at
we?
least had a.
No, listen. I mean, I highly doubt it. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back as an OC.
He's not
That's
coming
it,
back.
though. I know that. But I'm just saying, in a dream scenario world, I guess.
I mean, it'd only be more money added to his current contract.
Yeah,
True. True. He could technically be the richest OC in NFL history.
It's so funny that we went Cardinals again for like a long time. There's just more to talk about, and then we said that Cardinals was dry, but no, there's actually a lot to talk about with the
They're
Cardinals.
not dry.
Not dry whatsoever. I mean,
They're
especially now
not
that,
sponsored by Gold Bond, baby.
especially there's another element to the job being undesirable. It's because Biddy is like, yo, we want to win right now, and then you look at the team, and you're like, how? Look at the people you got to play, buddy. How you gonna win right now when you got fucking 6 games a year that you're uphill battles 6 times a year, super uphill battle.
Yeah, I was gonna say every team in your division made it to divisional weekend.
Yeah, a third of your games is like a wash that you might lose them. So you got to build confidence.
At least the first part of the year we played them tough, so it's not insurmountable that our roster is just shit. We just need the right people in the building to motivate.
Kyler was splitting with them. Like we beat the Rams, we beat the Niners all the time with Kyler. You know, they beat us too, but at least we'd split. Shit. Can't argue that, Dylan. I see it in your eyes. You're thinking about something. What can I say to discredit Kyler Murray at this point? No, you can't.
Nah, I'm still on that train where fucking those hot and slow starts and shit.
Yeah.
And like the very last time like he had a full year and shit before he got fucking hurt, it was just constant slow starts and he just couldn't take off.
I think that
it's just getting bad to worse, and it's just never getting better with Kyler. And we're almost a decade into it, and we keep changing coaches and offensive coordinators. What's that really going to do for him? Time for a change of scenery, and plus we're paying him a fuck ton of money to do what? Go nowhere. We're nowhere as where it stands right now. We're not even Super Bowl bound in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So what's the point of paying him all that money for? There is no point. But the fact that he's been playing like shit, no team's desperate to be like, oh, second round, first round. Like no team's gonna do that because he's only giving us a first round blowout playoff exit and nothing more.
Better than
I still stand on that stance.
Hear me out. One guy that I think we might bring in from the draft.
Who?
Even if depending on how his lawsuit goes, but
what? That already sounds like red flags. Who?
Trinidad.
Shameless?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him. No, he looks.
Well, realistically, we're already paying Cliff Kingsbury when he's not even on our payroll on the team. So just add somebody else that's not on our team to the payroll. Just pay Kyler to play somewhere else because he's getting paid so much anyways. Oh, just might as well pay fucking Steelers, Falcons, whatever, 25-30% of his contract. And they can take care of the fucking rest. What's the point of just keep playing fucking players on other teams that just doesn't work out? Just a horrible look, dude.
Well, hey, listen, at least we know that it worked for the Suns, so there might be some hope at the end of the tunnel. Just say, all right, we'll eat the money until we get it right. And I guess that's the way you have to do it. It's a numbers game, and when you're a team that's not an attractive destination, you have to get lucky. That's just what has to happen. You know, we have to get lucky on one of these coaches.
We need to find our next BA.
And
that's what they're quote unquote wanting and trying to do. But like teams make a quick turnaround in 1 to 2 years, and like, well, let's see, because this is take 3 after Bruce Arians. So
yeah.
Well, I'll put it like this: Monty Ossenfort probably should have been fired too, but he's not. He's not fired.
But listen, he's been a better drafter than Steve Keim, though. Hold on though, better drafter, but ever since we hired Monty Ossenfort, Bibble's been spending way less fucking money. We threw dough at JJ Watt, fucking AJ Green, all these fucking vet players and shit way back then of the Steve Keim regime. I can keep going on and on. But ever since like Monty Austin for like 2 years, 10 million, like all these cheap ass signings for depth and all that. Like no like I don't know, big time signings like we had with Steve Keim and shit. Just like all like rack up draft picks and see how these draft picks work out.
That's true.
That is
And
true.
freaking Kime brought in D Hop.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Giveaway,
making
baby.
You're right.
How can I forget that one?
That's a good take.
So that David Johnson pick was pretty fun while it lasted too. That was a good pickup, but
Not like that was like we cashed him into D Hop.
yeah. So it's like I don't know why Bill will just stop spending after we just fucking let Kime go.
Well, maybe the frustration in his head, which if you can see the veins from his press conferences, he looks kind of upset. But I think he's just more annoyed that the fans are getting more on to him about everything that goes wrong.
And the fans have given this man a lot of grace. He doesn't get a lot of. He doesn't get slack like the Raiders and the Browns owners get. So
He doesn't. He needs more.
Or the Jets owner. The Jets owner is constantly getting slammed. So he can deal with it because the team needs to be better, and the only way to do that is to pressure these dudes into making moves. Because if not, they're rich as hell. They're not going to do anything. They're chilling.
Oh yeah.
By the way, gents, real quick, I'm on a 2-minute countdown. By the way, so
Well, that's it. Hey guys, if you like what you're seeing, we don't got any pick'ems for you today. But what I will say is, if you love the podcast, please go to the links in the description and join the group. Join us, please join us and take us to your leader.
And if you want a shirt, let us know and we can get one made for you.
yes, sir. For $50.99. I'm kidding.